You can't lift your arm properly anymore. It's as if it's frozen. You are probably suffering from a frozen shoulder, and that can be quite nasty. I will now show you 3 Liebscher and Bracht exercises that will hopefully help you get a handle on these pains. Let yourself be surprised by the 3rd exercise. It is super easy and totally effective. So now let's get started. Renee is back. Renee is doing the exercise. I am explaining it, and you can start right away. We are doing the right shoulder. If you have the problem with the left shoulder, just do the same on the left. In frozen shoulder, the problem is that you can only raise the arm to a certain height, and then nothing more happens, and it is incredibly painful. And that's why we also deal with this situation in a very practical way. Most people can do that. Now simply go as far up as you can until you feel an uncomfortable pulling sensation in your shoulder. Stay like that, please, because especially with a frozen shoulder, people know exactly what they can do and where this area begins, where it quickly transitions from tension to a greater tension into pain. It's important to identify this range. Assuming it's at this angle for you now. It could also be in this one or in this one. Actually, it doesn't matter. Go into the corner, lying on your stomach with your arms straight out, where you notice it starts to tighten uncomfortably. Then leave the arm at that position and move the left leg about 30 centimeters to the left and the right leg parallel to it, creating a kind of bend. It is important that you do not change the angle of the arm for the exercise. The other arm is positioned as if you were about to do a push-up, and with that, you control everything. To turn it, bring your left knee out, bend your leg, and place the left knee out. Now you have your body nicely under control to gradually work into this area where the pain is, being careful so that it's just bearable. Because even with the worst frozen shoulder, with the worst pain, there is a position that is pain-free, or at least not much is happening, or the pain increases. And that is the art of adjusting it. Now you start very carefully, Renee, and turn your torso first towards the head to the left and keep turning higher and higher. Stop here. Assuming now the shoulder starts to hurt properly, you stay exactly in this position and then gradually work yourself further and further in. Go ahead and do it, even though you don't have a frozen shoulder. You just have to pretend as if you have one, but we'll demonstrate it in a way that you can do it exactly when you are affected. And then you always stop there, where you notice, oh, now it hurts so much that I can't handle it anymore, that it's not positive anymore.
Roland, when people practice and practice and it gets better, is it more important to raise the arm higher or is it more important to come higher?
That is a super good question. Stretch further, you at home too. I will answer it briefly. During an exercise, everything stays as it is and the body rotates, as we will do now. You should do the exercise a day later, and it may be that the arm is positioned differently, and then you repeat the process in that position. That means the angle you set while lying on your stomach and the arm slowly moving higher is the crucial criteria. Then the body rotation is added as reinforcement. But it was a good question. Thank you for that. Now please press a little with your arm against the floor and a little more, and you do that too, depending on what your frozen shoulder says. The pain should not go too high, always just bearable. So you can already tell we are pushing the limits of what is bearable, and there we train the shoulder to behave normally again. It's a gradual process that must be done bit by bit so that the shoulder doesn't react and rebel against it.
Am I still twisting it into the ground?
Let go a little further, and let's repeat that again, pushing into the ground again. And even if it is less possible for you than for Renee, it doesn't matter. You only listen to your pain, you only listen to your own body. And then you slowly come back, and now you try to lift your arm up without changing this angle up or down. The arm must stay the same, and you lift it higher, just as far as it goes, and you too. Again, be careful, it must not hurt, not too much, and then go down again. And you will notice this adjustment angle with every new practice. When you repeat this video over and over again, then you will always come higher with your arm. For the second exercise, please sit down like Renee, take your hands back and point your fingers away from you. So simply move away from you, and now it's about letting your arms run backwards. You can either practically pull yourself over the mat with your fingers further and further back, or you can walk forward on your buttocks so that the arms stay back. And then you notice here in this whole area the increasing tension. It may be that you start with your frozen shoulder about here, and then you have to work your way further in. No matter where you start, at what angle, always let your arms move further back. Yes, for now, let's focus on doing it step by step.
Is it better if I lean forward like this?
Yes, it depends. That's a matter of taste. Only when you run on your buttocks, don't do it too vigorously, so that neither one nor the other shoulder is suddenly heavily burdened.
And tell me, what is actually a calcific tendinitis of the shoulder?
A calcified shoulder, it is assumed that the pain in the shoulder is caused by calcifications. Now always go a little further, still into the stretch. Okay, René now has his arms very close together. That doesn't necessarily have to be. It is enough if you have them shoulder width apart. So this distance would be quite all right. After we have entered into the stretch further and further, you press fully against the ground.
With my palms?
Press the palms against the floor. Relax and go a little further into the stretch. Okay? And again, you press downwards, press firmly, but only as much as you can bear. Is it clear? Yes? So exert as much force as the calcified shoulder can still tolerate. No, not the calcific shoulder, you have the frozen shoulder. Push in again, relax, and push a little further in.
Not much is happening now, Roland.
Okay? When nothing else works, then you just push in and stay there. So very, very pragmatic. Always so that it is just barely tolerable. And now is a good time for the exercise. Now slowly pull your arms forward and come up. Walk straight, don't go out, keep your arms like this and lift your arms up again, but keep your head straight and your body upright. Yes. Yes, stretch actively again now. It is called active stretching. We are stretching now under active force.
What is it good for, Roland? What am I doing now? What am I stretching here?
Now imagine you're stretching almost the same, but not quite as intensely. But the important thing is, from the nervous system, from the programs that control the muscles, you now establish a good relationship between the various muscles that surround your shoulder, which practically pull on the arm. And then you can slowly go out again. And now we come to the third exercise, which, as I announced, it's surprisingly easy. Let's take our shoulder savior. And this loop here. Go into the corresponding compartment so that with your arms extended, you reach exactly to where the arm starts to hurt, then stay there for a bit, and then go a little further. Yes, that is the training. And when you have been doing this for a few days, over and over again, eventually it will be the case that you can make your bow completely in this grip angle at this distance of the hands. And that is super good, especially for a frozen shoulder that is currently being defrosted. You can also use a towel if you don't have the shoulder saver yet. So there's a bit of a lack of motivation without the shoulder savior. But you can also do this exercise with a towel or with a rope, which you take and grip accordingly. And with these three exercises, there is also a small bonus, namely the fascia rolling massage. What does it do? Especially important in a frozen shoulder, because the metabolism is significantly reduced in a frozen shoulder. And that simply increases the metabolism and therefore increases the healing speed. We assume that. Yes? Renee, just a lot of strength from the elbow for the front of the arm and roll it all the way to the shoulder. A bit slower than we are showing it, but repeating it again and again. And the same for the back. Press it down firmly and smoothly roll it up to the shoulder, even a bit onto the shoulder side. And last but not least, we go directly to the scapula and lean against it. And Renee, now you make spirals applying a lot of pressure just bearable. And free the entire scapula.
Oh yes.
So those were the 3 exercises against your frozen shoulder and the fascia roll massage. I hope it did you good. Stay tuned, repeat it more and more. There is currently a Christmas promotion, a shoulder package consisting of the fascia roll massage set and the shoulder savior itself at an unbeatable price. If you are interested, click down there and take a look at it. And because you naturally want to continue practicing, here you get a routine against shoulder pain. Here below you can subscribe to our channel. Also activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Nice to see you around. Goodbye.